Welcome everybody to Talladega Super Speedway. My name's Josh Hall. I'm here tonight with Eddie Morris. Eddie, how you doing tonight?
I'm pretty good, man. I'm excited to get this stuff going.
Absolutely, and we're here tonight at Talladega Super Speedway with the Super Speedway Kings. They got about 30 seconds left in practice, and right now at the top of the board, no surprise, Seth Groover up there. As usual, I don't see where his brother is right now, but it looks like they're always at the top of the board, as we know. Gonna go over
I'm
points
seeing
for.
him in 18th.
What was that? 19th?
I'm seeing him in 18th.
18th. There he is. Yep.
Yep.
So yeah, real quick with the points, we got Rick Sebrands still at the top of these top of the point standings here. He's got 2 wins, 6 top 5s, 8 top 10s. He's been kind of dominating this series so far. We also have Mark Mann in second, Gabe Butler third, Patrick Groover fourth, John Stathkos fifth, James Mayer sixth, Michael Lovelace seventh, Kevin Freeze in eighth, Tracy Reaver and Everett Lane rounding out your top 10 in points. So we're going to get some qualifying underway here. Sorry, Atlee could not join us tonight. He had some other stuff come up. That's why we got Eddie in the booth. But Eddie's excited to watch what's going on here. Eddie's becoming quite the super speedway racer. Joe and I have kind of taken him under our wings. So
That's always a blast, man. Racing with you guys and trying to learn a few things.
for sure. And it's, as I always say, super speedway racing is really an art. It's not like short track racing or intermediate style racing. You almost have to drive it like a chess match. Like you got to kind of judge your moves 3 to 4 seconds before you're going to do them, and it's a fun way to do it. So, and these guys out here are some of the best. They're the fastest guys running the fastest setups. As we see Everett Lane on track right now in that beautiful Chrome 24. And a unique style here. These guys are going to do 1 qualifying lap as opposed to 2. So kind of evens out the field a little bit and gets these guys going right away.
I like that little twist. That's pretty neat. 1 qualifying lap.
It definitely makes it more of a challenge. You don't have that throwaway lap. You don't have that 1 lap that you can run high and kind of just keep all your momentum up. It's go out there and run it. And if you make a mistake, well, that's too bad.
That's right. I like it. I like it.
And you see Everett down on that apron getting everything he can right here as he comes to the stripe. He's going to be the first one across the stripe. Him and Will Witt. Seth Groover out on track right now. Looks like he made his lap already. Yes, he did. And I forget, Eddie, have you called one of these with me before?
No, this is the first one.
All right, so you got the Groover twins who they'll be working with each other tonight. And they always like to jump to that high side, kind of like me and Joe like to do. And they always up there in the front mixing it up, and they're exciting to watch.
Yeah, I've seen a few of their races before, and they're definitely exciting to watch, especially when they're together and on that high line.
Well,
They can definitely make some things work.
Gary Sipinski out on the track right now, making his qualifying laps. This 2.66 mile speedway. Very interesting, as we always point out, that start-finish line is pushed back past the tri-oval. Brings up some really exciting racing and makes it for some exciting finishes. As Kevin Freeze now to the top of the board with a 49.40. And you see that Patrick Groover is showing, and Estel Fields showing a 0.00 difference. But yeah, on my screen here, I see them all with a 49.41. That's incredible. 3 guys tied for first.
That's craziness.
As
These guys are the best. So.
Yeah, as Gary comes across the line here, and he's going to run a 49.44. So right now, we've got 3 guys with a 49.41, 3 guys with a 49.43, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys with a 49.44. As you can see on the board here, that's why you see all these guys with 0, 2, 3. I mean, the top 11, top 12 right now are separated by 3/100ths of a second. See, Dean Qualley's joined us in the watching him along with us. Hey, Dean, how you doing tonight? Let's see who else we got on track right now. We got David Amerson out on track right now. Looks like he's coming across, or David Adamson, as he's coming across the line here. It's his flying lap. So he's just starting his qualifying attempt right now. Right down on that yellow line, and it's very easy to cross that yellow line and catch that apron just a little bit. That's one thing you never want to do. Really upsets the car, and it looks like he's going to run out of time.
Yeah, it's never a good feeling, man, whenever that car in front of you clips the apron and in the corner and you've got people on the sides of you, and it's never good.
So we'll take a trip through our grid here. And starting on pole tonight, Kevin Freese with that 49.405. Patrick Groover on the outside. 0.003 difference between those. So up on the board, they were just showing the hundredths, but now we get to see the thousandths. Estill Field starting in the 042 in the third spot, and then David Willoughby in the 7 machine outside row 2.
Yeah, P5 is Al Cena, starting P6. Craig White, P7. Gary Zlobinski.
Sipinski.
Sorry if I said that wrong.
No, you're good.
Starting P8 is Frank Gramuglia.
Gramuglia, yep, that's correct. And
I'm hoping I'm getting these right, man. You saved those 2 hard ones for me.
I did. Starting row 9, Darren Razor. And outside of him, Everett Lane in the 24 machine. Then Rick Seabrands in the 11th spot, and Seth Groover starting P12.
Michael Pegg starting P13. Starting 14th, Don Davis. 15th, we got Paul Witt. 16th, Eric Lowry.
Yep. 17th, we got David Bone in the 23 machine. And outside of him, Charles M. Johnson in the 9. And then Rachel Hunt in the 16 machine. And outside row 10, Mark Mann.
Shuffled up a little bit there.
Sorry about that.
No, you're good. It's the timing that's getting shuffled up.
All right, I'll get the rest here. Dean Wilkinson, the 55 machine, starting 21st. Paul Sheldon in the 53 machine, starting 22nd. Randy Miner rolling off 23rd. And Jay Hillard rolling off 24th. David Overstreet in the 03. He'll be in 25th. And then Todd Siebels in the 45, rounding out row 13. J.D. Crow in the 17 machine in 27th. And Jimmy Crow Jr. in that 39 machine. He'll be rolling off 28th. John Stathkos in the 08, rolling off 29th. Who always likes to start at the back and always ends up at the front. John Garrett in the 66. He'll be rolling off in 30th. Michael Lovelace in the 69, rolling off 31st. Ernie Williams Jr. in the 91. He'll be outside in 32nd. Brett Lay in the 52 machine, 33rd. David Adamson in the 34th spot. Tracy Weaver in the 41 machine, he'll be rolling off in 35th. Noel Knowers in the 15 machine, he'll be rolling off 36th. Michael Howlett, 33 machine, rolling off 37th. And Louis Loya in the 74, rolling off 38th. William Sanders in the 40, he'll be rolling off 39th. Brian Pierce rounding out row 20. And that is going to complete our grid. As these guys are getting ready to do 77 laps here, Talladega Super Speedway. So pace car takes them down that long pace lap. And I know Seth right now is hoping his brother's going to jump up there. We see Stathkos actually starting from pit lane. I don't know if he missed the start or had some issues here, but he's looks like he's going to be starting here in pit lane as pace car pulls off. down on the pit road. Takes that long drive down through the tri-oval to the start-finish line. As they approach the starting zone, green flag is in the air. And we're racing here at Talladega Super Speedway. And a great start by the front row here. Both front rows definitely getting a good push here. As you see, David Willoughby.
Yeah, those first 4 cars are just stuck together.
Yeah, they all kind of fired off at the same time. We saw Dale Willoughby really giving Patrick Groover a good push there. But at the same time, Estill Fields was giving a great push to Kevin Freese as they come down the backstretch. That's a great push from Estill down through the backstretch here as they approach turns 3 and 4. And already a little bit of separation as we look a little further back here. Nobody's really forming up on that high side. Looks like that high side's kind of dying as you look back. About 15th, 16th spot back there.
Yeah, but you look back up to the front, man, and it's definitely taken over. Dale Willoughby will lead the lap and go down to the inside line.
I already got one car up on the high side. Is that the 01? Yeah, that's the 02. Which I told you, it wasn't going to take long before he starts making his way back up there to go help his brother. I imagine by lap 3 or 4, or sorry, 4 or 5, he'll be right up there trying to get up there. I'm sure Patrick's going to pull up here within the next lap or two to go fall back to him so that they can get something going.
I don't doubt that at all.
Right now, it looks like that inside line is holding all the momentum and has all the energy. And early in this run, you can see these cars really dialed in. Nobody's really swerving around. Nobody's moving back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 77 lap race, so I mean, it's not really time to push the issue right now, and I'm sure these guys understand that, and they seem to be doing it pretty well right now.
As they enter the tri-oval here to complete lap number 3. It's pretty much the same. Estill Fields and Patrick Groover. Patrick Groover is actually going to lead that lap that time by.
Seth Groover's right back on that outside line again, but they don't have nobody, so he'll have to fall back down to the second line.
As we really see the field spreading out through the, you see the entire field right now, one big pack. You got, looks like about 4 or 5 cars back there who are just barely off the pack on the bottom side. They haven't lost the draft, but it looks like they're just trying to be cautious here. As Estill Fields goes to the high side now, tries to get to the high side of Patrick Groover. And I'm sure that's not what Seth wants to see, is having Patrick down there on that bottom side. Looks like, though, another car jumps out to that third line. A couple cars jump out to that high line.
Yeah, looks like Seth's going to have some help out there.
As we see this middle here, 3 wide. It'd be Seth Groover, Paul Witt, and I believe the 9 of Charles M. Johnson. Yep, he's going to be out there too. So the 3 of them are trying to get hooked up on that high side, trying to make something happen. But up front, Patrick Groover now has no pressure on that outside right now. As he now moves up to that high side, he sees that energy coming from that middle lane, goes up to the high side and takes that energy away. Oh, 4 wide. We are 4 wide, back to 3 wide. Man, they were able to save that and hold on to it, and that was impressive.
That was definitely impressive. I thought for sure there was going to be a big one. Way to go, guys, on keeping it straight, and that's some good driving.
Yep. And while all that was happening, it looks like Patrick Groover got kind of shuffled back a little bit. He's getting some help now, though, from the 7 of Dale Willoughby.
Checkup, man, that definitely killed that outside line.
Yeah.
Well, both outside lines.
Yeah. And normally when you hear 4 wide, that's not what you want to hear, but these guys being able to hold it as well as they did, and that just shows how talented these guys are and how good of drivers they are, being able to keep that 4 wide and not have a big wreck. Now, Patrick Groover now with that big push, putting some pressure on Estill Fields. It looks like his pusher's having a little connection issue, which is never good when you're in that position. But here comes.
No, it's never good if you're in any position behind it.
Oh, here.
Especially here.
Here comes Everett Lane, trying to make something happen, coming up to the back bumper of Willoughby. In that 5th spot on that higher side. You've got the other Groover twin, Seth, trying to get back up there to help his brother. And the thing I love about watching these guys race here, Eddie, is just how smooth they are. And how they can run 3, and now we've seen 4 wide, and not have issues and not have to worry about that.
That's definitely special, man. Especially when you get a group of guys like this together and stuff like that happens, you know, it don't end up in a mess. It's pretty awesome.
Now we see Jimmy Crow a little further back here. Was just 3 wide for a second. Looks like he fell back down. He was trying to make something happen.
Craig White's trying to make some stuff happen on that outside line in that 3 car.
Yeah, he's got 3 cars up there with him.
Yeah, he's got 78 in the 9.
Yeah, that's going to be the 78 of Gary Sipinski and the 9, Charles M. Johnson. Now they're trying to make that high lane work. So they rock it down into. Yeah. You want to talk about energy? There's that energy right there on that high side, as they've already worked up to the 2nd row here. They're going to be challenging for the lead, I think, just in a moment, as they are going to be coming up on a lap car pretty quickly. Take a look at our track map here. We got a couple cars. The 57 and the 08, they're going to be getting caught pretty quickly. I think the 57 just came off pit road. Yep, that's exactly what happened, so. Lap car stays down on the apron, keeps out of the way. Lets the leaders race. And now,
good stuff right there.
We got Jimmy Crow, and I believe that's JD Crow. Yep, JD Crow up on that high side. Now we got 5 cars on that high lane. Oh, and they got a lap car that looks like he's trying to stay high as they're 3 wide.
Boys, here's the true test.
This is going to get messy, I'm sure. Four wide past the lap car. Starting to drop back. Yep, still 4 wide.
Yeah, I was more worried about the 4 wide in the corner. It's not as forgiving as the backstretch.
And look,
man, good job to those guys.
Yep, and look what that did to the 3 car. He just went from sitting in the basically the 5th spot, falling all the way back down to 15th.
That's how fast it happens here, man. You can surely sink a lot of positions at a super speedway real quick.
It's easy
you can also gain them back.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's easy to go both ways.
That's what makes it so fun, man. You know, you can run around, see what your car can do, and then just try to stay out of the big one, you know, or just go for it.
Yeah. And that's why I always compare super speedway racing to playing chess. You know, you got to look 3 to 4 moves ahead of you. Who's going to go with you? Who's around you? Who you want to go with? Who you don't want to go with? Who you know can who you know can push? Who you know isn't a very good pusher, and try to make things work.
You got to anticipate that next guy's move. You know, you got to know how he's going to come around that corner. If he's liable to hit that, you know, the curb down there and send you up the track, and it's crazy. There's a lot of stuff into it.
Here's a move I'm anticipating. I see that 0-2. Here comes the 0-1 to the high side. There it is. Right on cue.
As you were calling it.
And that's going to get the Groover twins hooked up. And look who's right back behind him. It's the 3 car. So who was just 17th 2 laps ago, working his way back up into the top 10. Oh, we got a couple cars down on the apron.
Pit.
Yep, people pitting already. Oh, little lock up.
Got one locking it up.
And that's just another strategy of super speedway racing here. As you see on the bottom of the screen who's on pit road right now and how long they've been on pit road. You know, some people like to run their fuel out till it's empty and go from there. But some of these guys, they know that if they pit now, if this race goes completely green, if they pit now, they only have to make 2 more stops. And it's full tank and 4 tires, and they're good to go. They don't have to think about it. But you lose...
Yeah, I think I'm on the side of running that thing dry, man. Come in a lap or 2 before and you know, kind of go from there. I don't know what the fuel window is here tonight, but...
I believe it's right around 34, 35 laps. Yep, because if it's 35 laps, that would bring you to lap 70. And so it's probably about 30 laps. If you do 30 and 30, that's 60. They're on lap 15. So I'd say somewhere between 30 and 32.
Yeah, I'm definitely running those first 2 tanks out. And then I'm just going to put in what I need to make it through a green, white, checkered.
Yep. But at this, a little contact there between the 53 and Patrick Groover. That's a 53 of Paul Sheldon. Just push it up the track just a little bit. Make a little contact. No harm, no foul. But what I was saying was, you know, when I used to super speedway race a lot, we'd have a lot of long green flag runs, a lot of green flag pit stops. And yeah, it's a good idea sometimes to come down, make that pit stop early. And now you get in a position like these guys are right now who just pit, where they're all lined up by themselves and they can run just as fast as the leaders who are running side by side, and they don't have to worry about being in this mess back here.
This is true. And considering everybody just, you know, kind of done it at the same time, I'd say they're all in some kind of communication there. So they can definitely get formed back up and get their stuff straightened out.
Yep. Got some big movers through the pack already. Noel Noer's already up to the 7th spot, up 29 spots. Tracy Weaver up 27 spots. I see Jimmy Crow and JD Crow also topping the top 15 right now. They started in the back. So they've moved their way up pretty well.
Randy Miner, man, sitting in 3rd. He's up 20 positions.
Yep. Those guys are playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers out here.
But the board looks the same.
Oh, we got one. Wow, great save. One sideways there. That was the... I believe that was the 66 of John Garrett that was sideways. Nope, that was the 15 of Noel Noers, who was completely sideways for a second and ends up holding on to it. Great job gathering that back together.
Drift at 200 miles an hour, you got it.
It's easy to do there through the tri-oval. There's that little bump there on the bottom lane, and if you hit it just wrong, it really upsets your car and gets it sideways. So, as we see more cars now pulling on the pit road. We got one locking it up major. They're going to miss pit road completely. You're going to have to go through the grass.
Oh, man.
Who was that? Was that Paul Sheldon? It was Paul Sheldon. Unfortunately, getting stuck out there, having to go through the grass here. That's going to cost him a ton of time.
Yeah, that's... I hate to see it.
As you can see, Patrick and Seth now back up to the front. Sitting there with JD Crow, who's giving him a good push, and those three are starting to pull away a little bit. As now all those guys are just entering turn one, and they've got to be careful not to spin it out on the apron as they're catching up to speed, while everyone else on track right now is well over 200 miles an hour and catching them quick.
Yeah, that's about the only time you regret not taking tires sometimes here at the super speedways, man, is getting off pit road. you can definitely lose it pretty easy if you didn't change the tire.
For sure, as Paul Sheldon just hit pit road now, so he's going to lose a ton of time. He's going to be, when this all cycles through, multiple laps down.
He had a little bit of contact too, so I don't know if these guys get a fast repair or if he'll end up fixing that.
I believe these guys have one fast repair. So you see these guys catching some lap traffic now, but unlike before, single file catching the lap traffic. You see the groovers there trying to use that draft to keep themselves ahead.
It's working for them.
It also saves, it doesn't seem like much, but it might save them a little bit of fuel doing that too. Because right now, being stuck, as they're all coming to pit road now as well. Oh!
Man, oh man, oh man.
That could be trouble trying to, well, we know, see everybody coming on the pit road, and tight quarters here on pit road too. But right now we've got Ernie Williams Jr. up at the lead, as he's being challenged by Rick Seabrands on the high side. And I imagine these guys are going to be peeling off for pit road pretty soon.
That inside line,
There you go. Much cleaner on the pit road, this group of guys right here. So that's going to keep that entire outside row out. So maybe I was a little wrong on the fuel window here. It looks like probably about 25 laps on fuel, as I imagine these guys are going to be coming on the pit road relatively soon. If not this time by. And here they all come. Minus one or two, who look like they're going to try to stretch it a little further. As everybody gets on the pit road clean. That's going to give this pack the lead, which is, as I mentioned earlier, the first pack that went in there and pit. If we bring up this track map here, you can see how spread out everybody is on the track right now. Eddie, how often do you see a group of racers this spread out at a super speedway?
Not very often, man. Not in my experience anyway. I think I need to be out here racing with these guys. I like it. It
just shows how different, having all these different strategies. And as we can see, I'll take my track map off here. With this camera view, you'll be able to see just how far behind that next pack is, as they're just coming through turns 3 and 4 right now. There they are, at the top of your screen. So that allows these guys up here just to kind of log laps, run their fastest line, not have to worry about pinching, not have to worry about pushing too much, not have to worry about overheating. While that second pack, which has a lot more cars in it, are trying to do everything they can to stay lined up so that they can catch back up to these guys. As you can see, this...
Yeah, man. Just stay in line there, guys. Just log them laps.
Yep, this pack is being led by Patrick and Seth Groover here, and these guys are going to be content just riding back here, making sure that they can catch up. And then back a little further, we've got another pack of cars which isn't playing as nicely with each other. And that shows the difference between a group of guys that can stay lined up and a group of guys that kind of want to fight for position and say, hey, I'm faster than you. I'm going to try to make this move. And as it looks like back here, that second pack's starting to make up a little bit of time, though, right now. I can bring up yeah, they're starting to make a little bit of see if I can get this done right here. These guys are starting to catch up just a little bit, lap after lap. But yeah, if these guys can just stay lined up to the next pit stop and have as good a pit stop as they had last time, we should be able to see these guys even extend their lead even further. So we have one car on pit road right now. That's David Adamson. On pit road all by himself, unfortunately, which isn't going to help him as he's leaving pit lane right now. But leading this group right now is the 777 of Michael Pegg. Paul Witt in second. Estel Fields, Everett Lane, Dan Razor. That makes up your top five. And the top five cars here for position, there's a couple cars there that are a lap down. That'd be the 34. The... trying to see exactly who that is back there. Looks like the 34, the 45. So they're just kind of hanging back there right now, just riding. Hoping a yellow comes out. And you see Estel Fields. He's going to fall to the back. So that's a little strategy that these guys are working with right now. Basically, Estel's gotten hot. He's been pushing so hard. His engine's starting to warm up. So they're just going to switch, let the next guy do the pushing. That way he can fall in the back and cool that engine off.
It's pretty smart to do it that way.
Yep. That's the 34 of Darren Razor. Yeah, he's actually on the lead lap. I apologize for that. It's the other two cars, the 45 and the 13, who are a lap down, just kind of hanging out there. Eddie, is that the first time you've really seen that switch like that?
No, it's just smart to do it that way, you know.
Yep, and then you get one guy.
I like it, man.
Pushes up the track, and the next guy gets right on that bumper. And he'll fall in line.
Just looks a lot better whenever there's people that are coordinated enough to do it.
See, what we used to do, I'm not trying to give away secrets here, but what we used to do was we'd have the leader get pushed until the second car in line was blinking. As soon as he started blinking, we'd tell the guy in third that the guy in third would get right up on that back bumper, and then the leader would go high and fall to the back. So the leader every lap would be somebody different, or every couple laps would be somebody different. And by being able to do that, A, you always had a car that had a cool motor, but B, you weren't really separating that first and second car to lose the speed, because every time you get off the bumper of that front car, you lose a little bit of speed. He slows down a little bit.
Heck yeah, man.
And that was something that me and our old team, me, Jason Yacht, Jason Loy, these guys know those names. Our thoughts are with Jason Yacht. I know he was recently in the hospital, had a mild stroke, but we're thinking about you, Jason. I know a lot of guys who run this league know Jason Yacht well, and hopefully quick recoveries to you.
Heck yeah, man. Wish you a speedy recovery.
Yep, as these guys are now starting to be stocked a little bit. Got about a 4-second interval back to that second pack, so that second pack is starting to eat into that lead just a little bit, but as you know, green flag pit stop should be coming up here within the next couple laps again.
Yeah, I'm watching this second pack. It's being led by Patrick Groover and Seth Groover, and man, they're hooked up.
See if we can get you see this group here getting some speed going here through this. See if we can get some live speed here for these guys. See what kind of 200, 201 through the corner down this little short chute here to the tri-oval. 203, that's the second place car. So yeah, 202, 203, where this front group, yeah, they're doing about the same. So now it's all a matter of if these guys get their switches right, try to keep it cool, and what they can do. But
I think the next big thing is going to be either if there's not a caution and we have more green flag stops, I think getting in and off of pit road is going to be something.
And also, tires aren't normally an issue here at Talladega unless you lock them up going into the pits and you destroy that right front. You do that too many times, you can heat that right front up, wear it down, and start pushing up real hard in the corners. And as you know, when you push up in the corners here at Talladega, that means you got to lift a little bit. And lifting is going to take away speed. So you got a couple cars now on pit lane. Looks like Michael Howlett, David Bone, both on pit road right now. As we see this third, is this the third pack here? This is the third pack here, and they're not quite as in formation as that second pack, so they're losing a little bit of time as well. But we do have all 40 cars on track that we started with.
And that's saying something, man, because we've had a couple close calls so far.
We got pit lane cars on pit lane. That first group on pit lane now, making their pit stops. So yeah, they went about 15 laps the first time and about 25 laps this time. Ran that down. Now this group is down and away, and down and away as a group too, which is important.
Yeah, you don't want to be pitting here without any help. That's for sure.
You got one car that's just a little bit further back than everybody else. See if he'll be able to latch on or not, if these guys in the back are going to kind of fall back and let him catch up, or if they're just going to pull away. But right now, that's going to put this pack as your lead pack. So now these guys know that they just pitted. The first group just pitted. So all these guys can do is push as hard as they can to try to gain a little bit of time on those guys that just pit, and then hope that they have a better pit stop getting in than those guys that just got off pit lane had.
Yeah, you can gain and lose a lot of time getting in and off pit road.
Oh, for sure. And we saw that in the iOS series 2 weeks ago, where one driver, his name escapes me right now, but had 2 or 3 pit road penalties after leading a majority of the race. So it's very easy.
Yeah, I had a lot of other things going on, and I can't remember. that race was a mess. For me, anyway.
Yeah, but yeah, that says a lot. I mean, a 15-second stop and go is going to really affect your race. That's going to lose you almost 2 laps. Getting on pit road, having to stop, and then getting off pit road, getting up to speed. As we see this group now being led by Patrick Groover come through the tri-oval to the start-finish line, and we are just past halfway. And I imagine we're going to see these cars on pit lane within the next 10 laps or so. We're going to start seeing some green flag stops again. And can these guys stay lined up enough to put a little dent in that other group, that lead group's, I call them the lead group, even though these guys are leading, but when everything cycles through, they'll be in the lead. It's Estel Fields, Paul Witt, Everett Lane, Darren Razor, Michael Pegg, those guys back all formed up like before. Actually, they're catching a little bit of, yep, they're all hooked up again, and they're going to go right around these 3 cars here. But that's going to allow them to increase their lead a little bit. As we see here, everybody is on track right now. The green highlighted car, that would be the 01 of Patrick Groover, your leader. You can see where he is in relation to the 777 coming across the line right now. And then that second group that's just going into turn 3 as we speak. A couple more cars on pit road. Paul Sheldon, let's see, Don Davis, Randy Miner, all on pit road right now, pitting together. It looks like a couple more cars entering pit lane right now. You got the 20 of Jay Hillard and the 40 of William Sanders on pit road. A couple of cars behind them coming on pit road as well. Looks like William Sanders, Tracy Weaver, Brett Lay all coming on pit road as well. So a lot of guys trying to shake up the pit stops here. Now we got a couple cars trying to make a bunch of cars coming on the pit lane now.
I was just gonna say, man, we
Kevin,
got some peeling off.
Got a lot peeling off right here. I saw some cars making that third line, or jumping up that third line, trying to figure out what they were doing there, or second line, I should say. Well, it looks like everybody's getting ready for pit stops here as this group of cars comes in. Dale Willoughby, Charles Johnson, Eric Laurie, all on pit road. Jimmy Crow Jr., Louis Loya on pit road. And then there was 4. Patrick Groover, Seth Groover, Gary Sipinski, Al Cena. The 4 cars who have yet to pit as one car pulls off. It's Al Cena pulling off all by himself. That's not going to do himself any favors right there. There's
not at all.
A couple cars here on the outside trying to unlap themselves.
Crazy how everybody can get so spread out.
On
That's insane.
Super Speedway Racing, you can, yeah, absolutely. If you got a bunch of guys working together, a bunch of teammates working together, it's really easy for them to get spread out like this. And this is going to be a fuel mileage race when it comes down to it, because I don't see a yellow coming out. But these guys right here are going to probably try. Nope, they're going to come in now. I figured they'd stretch it a couple more laps, but here they come onto pit road, and again,
78, man. It's
Yeah,
coming in hot.
Sipinski twice now. He's really coming hot and almost taken out both Seth and Patrick there. So Mark Mann is going to assume the lead. And this was that third pack at the time. Now they're your lead pack. Mark Mann, David Overstreet, Ernie Williams, J.D. Crowe, Craig White, Rick Seabrands. I believe these guys have, these guys have still only made one pit stop, so
78 disconnected. So that takes Patrick and Seth from having that third car to help just down to those two.
Wonder if he sped on pit lane and knew his race was pretty much over because of it.
Not sure.
I was
watching him and he disappeared.
Yeah, having such a strong run. See J.D. Crowe and Craig White come on the pit lane along with Al Cena. Sorry, Santa's been on the pit lane for a little bit. But yeah, this group right here, they're doing all they can now. Now that they know that the Groover twins only have themselves to work with, I think we're going to see these guys try to push a little bit harder now to keep those guys out back.
Yeah, the Groover twins, they've got some help here now. There's 3 cars that just kind of pulled up, and they're all kind of blending in together now. So.
All right, yeah, so they got some help here. Then here comes this group into pit lane. Mark Mann, Ernie Williams, David Overstreet. Sorry, Rick Seabrands, Ernie Williams, David Overstreet, Mark Mann. They all peel off on the pit road here, and look who that's gonna give the lead back to. 77 from Michael Pegg. So now Eddie's learned something about some super speedway racing, about going in early when you think it's going to be a fuel mileage race, separating yourself from the pack, and having yourself a big lead.
Pretty good stuff.
Now this group is starting to get a little bit of a sniff of a draft from this group in front of them, which is going to allow them to pull even further away from Seth Groover and Patrick Groover in that second pack. It looks like they've got a little pack back there, but you can still see a lot of cars spread out throughout the track. Bunch of little groups out there.
Definitely going to be interesting seeing which pack made the right call. Who can stretch, who's going to have enough for the end, and which strategy is the winning strategy tonight.
Yeah, well, these guys are, I believe, going to have to make one more stop. Most of them will. Because we've seen about 25 to 27 laps on fuel. Actually, we've got a way to look that up.
We do.
So there you go, 22 laps, about 22 laps on fuel, so we should see this lead group in again in another 11 laps. That's going to bring them to lap 59. Yeah, that's going to put them right at the window there, so. Smart move there, being able to break away from the rest of the pack and not have to worry about the craziness there.
That's for sure, man. Especially being in the middle of the pack, everybody jostling around and trying to find your way through. Separate yourself, stay away from the jostle, and get to the end.
So that lead these guys had on Patrick Groover earlier, that was at 4 seconds, is now at almost 7.5 seconds. So that just shows what kind of strategy these guys are on, how much speed these guys have by being able to hook up together and get going. Then you've got these couple, like I said, a couple cars kind of separated from the pack here. It's Eric Laurie, David Bone. See Jimmy Crowe there. passing Eric Laurie. So Eric was kind of all by himself. He's hoping to get hooked up with these guys right here. Got this third pack here that's being led by J.D. Crow. J.D. Crow, Craig White, Jay Hillen, William Sanders, Mark Mann, Rick Seabrands. These guys just out on an island right now. That's that 3 car that was up front earlier. The 4 of Rick Seabrands, he was up front strong. And now they're sitting back. Unfortunately for them, they're back in the 15th, 16th, 17th spot back here. Just on an island all by themselves, really.
Yeah, those guys, man, they're hoping for a caution. You know that. they're absolutely asking. They're saying there's water bottles on the track. You know, they're wanting a caution for sure.
There's debris in turn 3. It's raining in turn 4. Anything they can
Right.
to try to get that yellow to come out.
Sprinkle.
So we need to be able to map a button on the keyboard so we can throw roll cage padding out on the track like Robbie Gordon there.
Right. Heck yeah.
So now that this lead is now over 8 seconds back to 6th place, Patrick and Seth Groover. So these guys are able just to stay in line and pull away, and that's the difference right there. These guys only have 5 cars. I mean, they're 5 fast cars, don't get me wrong, with Patrick, Seth, Dale Willoughby, Kevin Freese, Charles M. Johnson. There's some fast cars right here. But unfortunately, when you only have 5 cars compared to this group here of 8, that's going to change things quite a bit. And in reality, everybody's running pretty much the same times. It's just that little extra that these guys are able to gain. As next time they cross the line here, we're going to have just 25 laps to go. So I imagine we'll be seeing people peeling off on the pit road in just a few laps.
Yeah, I like this aspect of it, man. This being everybody, you know, spread out, and the strategy side of super speedway, man. I like it.
It's a much different strategy. It's a much different way to look at it than your typical run as hard as you can, go 3 wide, make the moves when you need to. I mean, these guys really are putting on a show tonight in a different way. Yeah, it's always exciting to see the 3 and 4 wide, but when you can have a bunch of guys like this have a strategy race, being able to work together, being able to stretch out leads, being able to communicate and get on and off pit road that well. I mean, when was the last time you saw a bunch of iRacers get on and off pit lane that many times as well as they have?
Yeah, I've not.
I mean, here at Intensity Broadcasting, we have a lot of different leagues that we tend to broadcast, and a lot of times when you start seeing green flag pit stops, yellow follows very quickly, as people are usually reckon. But these guys, being some of the best super speedway racers on the service, are really showing you why, as they are extending that lead on Seth and Patrick Groover now, as they're able to run pretty much a 10th faster than them behind. The other thing this sets up, Eddie, is these guys aren't going to have to take a full fuel load either. They'll be able to take just a little bit. Obviously, that group in the back is going to have to take less than them, because they're probably going to have to take a half a tank.
Be interesting to see.
As the window is now open, you see a couple cars down in pit lane. You got Eric Laurie, David Bone, Jimmy Crow Jr., who else is on pit road right now? Louis Loya. All them guys, the window opened up. They all came to pit roads because they know that they can make it from here. If a yellow was to come out for whatever reason, they'd be all set. They'd be restarting at the front. So a bunch of different strategy aspects here.
Yeah, it's definitely nice to see it from that side of super speedway racing rather than the four wides and the big ones, and it's nice.
It looks like somebody, looks like Frank Ramugla had a little difficulty there coming off pit road and spun it out, not in front of anybody. He was able to get it back to the pit, reset it, and get back to the pits, not to bring out a yellow out and wreck these guys up here strategy. Not really sure what happened with him. Another car on pit road, Michael Hollett. All by himself. And here they come. And this is the money stop right here. Everybody gets on the pit road perfectly. The only thing that worries me is those guys being a little three wide there for a second, but and I'd be interested to see if anybody here takes tires. They might take right sides here. Yep, you see the left sides jacking up. That's what they're doing. Everybody's taking left side tires here. Here, and you'll see the pack zoom by right there. That was our third pack there zipping by them as Seth Groover, Patrick Groover, Dale Willoughby, Kevin Freeze, and Charles Johnson try to... Oh, they're all going to come to pit road this time as well, so... Oh, we see the O2 there get real squirrely coming on the pit road. Yeah. Looked like he had a little too much rear brake dialed in that, and it started getting real squirrely there. So that's going to give the lead to this pack. J.D. Crow, Craig White, Mark Mann, Rick Streebans, and that's the pack that you saw zip by the original leaders there as they came off pit road. So now these guys, their strategy right now is to push as hard as they can, stretch their fuel as far as it can, so that they can make the shortest pit stop, and preferably they might even maybe not have to take tires and just take fuel. And again, we'll throw that track map up there so you can see where everybody is while pit stops are going on. As we got a couple more cars. Rick Seabrand's coming to pit road. They make their way down to their pit stalls. Let's see if we see the tires go up or the jack come up on this car. Nope, these guys are taking fuel only. So because they don't have to take as much fuel, they're just going to take fuel only, get rolling as quick as possible, and join them back into the race. See what they can do. Now we're starting to see cars get a little racy out here. These guys start coming to pit road. Back there we see the 69. Michael Lovelace, Jay Hillard, William Sanders all on the pit road now. And again, you'll see these cars taking fuel only. Oh, we see a couple guys taking tires. I don't know if he just forgot to... I think he just forgot to uncheck his tires because he's still sitting there on pit road. And you can see how much time he lost by taking tires there. As you see Paul Sheldon now on pit road. Along with
And that's
Randy.
heartbreaking right there when you forget to check your tires.
Yep.
You're just sitting there and everybody's running away. It's like, oh man.
So now JD Crow and Craig White, the only two cars not to pit so far. Let's see how their pit strategy looks right now. They were just in 17 laps ago, so they can stretch it just a little bit longer. I imagine they'll probably come in with about 13, 14 laps to go. Unless they come in this time. But they might stretch it as far as they can to see what they can do here. But that 74 and the 45 on the outside, they are not making it easy for them. You see them staying out, so... Once this all, a couple more cars on pit road now. Brett Lay, Dean Wilkinson, Tracy Weaver, all on pit road. As everybody's making their way around here, trying to get every drop of fuel that they can out of their cars to make it to the end. And the guy you don't want to be is that leader. Because when you're there in the front, you're burning the most gas. That's not helping you save at all.
No, you're dragging them cars behind you.
The only thing you can hope for is what JD has in front of him now. And that's a car that he can kind of suck up to, save a little bit of gas. As that lap car goes right up to the wall, lets this group on by. But once this all cycles through, that 777 and Michael Pegg's going to be back in the lead. And I see Seth Groover on pit road right now. He might have had a speeding penalty.
Possible. I mean, he had him locked up on that last stop. So if it is, it's unfortunate for him.
So when do we pit? That's the question on everybody's mind right here in this group. When do we go in? When do we try to do what we can to get on and off pit road the quickest? Take the least amount of fuel, just enough to make it to the end? Imagine they're probably going to peel off right here. Nope, they're going to keep going.
It was going to keep on pushing it.
That's what I was looking for. So by calculation purposes, I imagine these guys only have a lap or two left of fuel in them. So I believe these guys should be coming this time.
You hear that? It's their gas tank. It says, "Feed me." I was leading one of these official races one time, and I ran out of gas on the backstretch on the white flag lap. Man, that was heartbreaking.
Yep, here they come. Right on cue. And then there's your leaders going on by him right now. That's going to give Michael Pegg the lead with just 11 laps to go. And these guys here, they're golden. They're going to be able to make it right to the end. The only thing that they're worried about is a caution coming out. Because if a caution comes out right now, it's going to change the entire dynamic of this race.
Oh yeah, the whole 66 laps that we just ran would be out the window. Like, it would be a whole new ball game after that.
Eddie, how many super speedway races have you ever watched go green the checker without a caution?
Oh man, I I can't truthfully honestly answer that question. Like I would have to really sit here and think real hard about it.
Bet you could count it on one hand.
I could probably count it on one finger to be more accurate. I'm not sure, man.
Yeah. But now you've got these 5 guys here. You've got Michael Pegg. You've got Estel Fields. You've got Paul Witt, Darren Rezer, and Everett Lane. Yes, they're teammates. They're working together tonight. But with just 10 laps to go, who makes the move? Who's the first car to jump out?
It's hard to say, man. Especially in a pack that big. You know, do you want to be the first one to jump out? Do you want to be the one to follow somebody and decide to push them? Like, there's a lot of decisions that need to be made, and not much time to make them.
And that's the thing. Do you work with him, you know, your partner to the end? Are you secretly making plans here? Well, on 2 to go, we're going to leave Michael Pegg out to dry. And you got a couple lap cars here, too. If I'm someone like Everett Lane and, you know, I've got nothing to lose here in this 5th spot, I might send a message back to one of these lap cars, be like, hey, on this lap, go with me.
Heck yeah, man. Make the alliance. Do it to it. See if they'll be willing to help you.
Because you never know when that might come back and help you out, where you're a lap down and, or you know, you're in the lead and Everett's a lap down for say, and he's able to help you out. So
Exactly.
see, Rob Yost Jr. joined our broadcast to watch along on Facebook. Hi, Rob. Thanks for the kind words. I appreciate it. And with an 11-second gap back to the second pack, this is going to be your race for the win unless a yellow comes out.
Yeah, with 7 to go, it's not they're not going to catch 11 plus 11 and a half plus second lead. It's increasing.
Now you can see the difference on track right now. The 777 highlighted green, the 01SF Groover just coming through 1 and 2 right now, but this lead pack is catching some traffic here that is not really formed up and very helpful for them right now. But looks like everybody's going to get out of the way. These guys are going to get by safely here. For a second there, I wasn't sure how safely they were going to get through there.
Yeah, they kind of collected it up all together there at once at the last second, but everybody was able to make it through and no issues.
Well, here's another thing. Let's throw some interesting stuff in here. You've got the 52 of Brett Lay. He is right behind Everett Lane right now. The next car behind him is the 41 of Tracy Weaver that they just joined this group. So now you've got 2 races going on right here. You've got 1st through 5th, and then behind him, you've got 17th through 22nd.
It's amazing.
So you might get someone who says gets on his little type-in machine right there and says, hey, Everett, I'm sitting back here and about 3 cars behind you. I want to go to the front. Let's go.
That's right.
Get that strategy. As we got 5 laps to go here. They rocket down the backstretch all single file. And that tiny little speck you saw coming off of turn 2, that was Patrick Groover and his pack back there. So being 12 seconds back, this is going to be your race for the win, I think, right here between these 5 cars.
Paul Witt looked like he was trying to go to the outside for a second there.
I saw that. He made that little move
trying to
for
get
a
air.
second. Yeah. I don't know if he's getting some air or if his car's starting to push up a little bit. or if he's trying to say, hey, hey, Darren, let's make this happen.
I'd say he's probably trying to cool that thing off right now, man. You know, if it's close to being hot, you got 4 to go. Might as well try to clean it off.
Oh, we got a little. Looks like that's the field looking to the high side now. He's gonna be able to fall back in line. Paul was able to lift and give him the room there, so these guys might start to get a little racy here as we come to 3 laps to go. Thing is, do you want to be the car that makes the move, or do you want to be the car that sits back and waits to the end? That's the question.
I want to be the car that makes a move and has an awesome pusher behind me. that's what I want to do.
Yes, Les, I totally agree. Les Levy came on and said, do it for Jimmy Crow Sr. Clean and with respect, no yellows tonight. Absolutely. Fortunately, Jimmy Crow Sr. passed away this past week, and our thoughts and prayers are with the family, but we're coming to just 2 laps to go here with this big pack. And is anybody going to make the move? And if it is, who's going to make the move? I know Everett Lane sitting back there in that 5th spot. He doesn't like to just ride around.
Yeah, I wouldn't really blame him, man, but I don't think that car behind him's just sucked up enough to help him do anything, really.
Patrick Groover now on the pit road. Not sure what happened there, but here's the thing. Everett's got nobody behind him that's for position. So if he makes the move out there, it's not going to penalize him if he falls all the way back to the back.
True.
As they come off of turn 4, down the short chute to the tri-oval. White flag is in the air. 1 more lap here at Talladega. Who's going to make the move? When are they going to make the move? Are they going to make the move? Those are the questions right now as they rocket through turns 1 and 2.
I would just about guarantee somebody is going to try to make some type of move. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to watch.
Well, they're running out of time. If they're going to do it, they're going to have to make it now. As it looks like Paul Witt's trying to look to the outside here. Looks like he's going to tuck back in as he's got nobody there to help him with the run. He's got nobody on his back bumper here, but he's going to get a little bit of a tull through 3 and 4 here. And again, that start-finish line past the tri-oval. Who's it going to be? Is Michael Pegg going to be able to hold him off? Estel Field's going to make a move as they come through the tri-oval here. And Michael Pegg will be your winner here at Talladega. Estel Fields in second, Paul Witt, Darren Rezer, and Everett Lane will make up your top 5. So it looks like those guys were content just kind of sitting there and getting the points. I mean, it is a points league. Man. So it's an important thing for these guys to get as many points as they can.
Every one of them counts, that's for sure.
That is absolutely for sure. But congratulations to Michael Pegg. Congratulations to everybody in this league for going 77 laps clean. No yellows, no incidents. That's incredible. Michael Pegg.
That was special to watch.
Michael Pegg comes here to the start-finish line. He's going to burn it down. While he does that, let's throw our results up on the screen here. Michael Pegg, your winner. Estel Fields, Paul Witt, Dan Resner, Everett Lane, Kevin Freese. It's going to be 14 seconds back on that second pack there. You can see how dominating this top 5 here was tonight. Charles M. Johnson, Dale Willoughby, J.D. Crow, Mark Mann, Craig White, Ernie Williams, Rick Seabrand, Jay Hillard, William Sanders, Brett Lay, Tracy Weaver, Dean Wilkinson in 18th. And that's another thing you don't really see normally, Eddie. We have only 15 cars on the lead lap, too.
That's insane. That's crazy.
So we're going to go ahead and dial up our top 3 here. We're going to pull Paul Witt in here first. Paul, Eddie, and Josh in the booth. You got us?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, great third place finish tonight. You guys had the right strategy tonight, pitting early, getting out to that big lead, being able to stretch that lead and really dominate the second half of this race, or actually dominate after that first set of pit stops. Was that kind of the goal going in, just to work together, pit early, and hope there was no yellers?
Yeah, we knew if we could break away from everybody, we'd be in good shape. Just try to stay away from any wrecks that was happening, that was going to happen or not. And we just worked together as a team, and there we go.
Yeah, it was a good strategy call on you guys, man. I was kind of doubting it myself, and Josh was like, "Ah, it's gonna work," but man, it did. And congratulations on your third.
All right, man. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. You guys do a really good job. And the regulators, we've been coming around, and we're getting hot right now. Hopefully we can keep it going.
Yeah, I noticed you guys working together real well, and kind of surprised to have a yellow-free race tonight too. So that was exciting to see. And
That was nice. You don't get to see that too often.
anybody you'd like to thank tonight before we let you go?
All my teammates, Michael Pegg, Estel, Darren, Everett, Frank, Dirty Don, Michael Hollett, and Larry. But, we just got to keep doing what we're doing, and more wins are going to come.
Awesome, man. Well, congratulations again, and hopefully we'll talk to you again soon.
All right, man. Thanks. Appreciate it.
That was Paul Witt right there. Now we're going to bring in Estel Fields here. Estel, you got Josh and Eddie in the booth. You got us?
Yeah, I got you. What's going on?
Man, I was just talking to Paul and talking about your strategy there. Pitting early, staying out there, being able to pull away from the field. And he said, big shout out to his teammates for being able to stay out there and make this strategy work. And, obviously the five of you were working real well together. Was there any other strategy from that point? Were you thinking if a yellow came out, we were going to have to do this or what?
Yeah, our pit stop was solid. I was worried for a little bit, maybe Michael, because he was leading, didn't have enough fuel to make it. But halfway through our last pit stop, we knew we were golden. Just hope for the caution not to come out because we had such a lead on everybody there. I gotta give it out to the regulators, our team, man. Everybody got in, got out, stuck together, stayed in a line, pushed real hard, and we was able to gain some time there. Really proud of the guys tonight. I guess all of our practice and stuff over the past several months has really paid off, and it shows today.
Yeah, one thing.
Yeah, that was a real good strategy, man. I didn't think it was gonna work.
Eddie, if you watch the broadcast back, Eddie was doubting it the whole time. I'm like, no, this is the way to do it. Run it like a road course, run it backwards. One thing I was really surprised about was nobody really jumped out there at the end. Were you guys kind of all set out on having Michael win it and just get the points? Or are you guys going to talking about racing it out there at the end?
Yeah, usually, because Michael, he put more tape on than me, so I'll push him, or if Darren or one of the other guys, and then we'll push. We tend to set the cars up to go a little faster, so the guy in the front has a little more tape. The guy pushing has 15% tape, and then the guy behind tries to stick to the third guy back is important too, just as important to stick on the bumper, and that helps us keep us at 205, 206, 207 going down the straight there, and looks like we gained a little time with everybody, and we got in, we got out. Tires was a little wonky there. We were debating whether to take right side tires or left side tires. I still got some more work to do on our setup, but overall, I'm really proud of the team and what they did. And Jimmy Crow always throws down some great races there. Caution free, man. What a race. Really fun, man.
It was incredible.
Too.
Yeah, it was incredible. And you guys did something I've honestly, as someone who's a super speedway racer myself and run a lot with teams, you guys were doing something I normally never see. You guys left the leader out there and were kind of switching behind him. And normally you see the leader fall to the back and let the next guy lead. And then when the second place car gets hot, he falls back. So that was impressive to watch.
Yeah, usually we call it leapfrogging.
Yep.
Like I said, let the guy in the front, he's got 50 tape on, and the guy pushes till you get really hot, then he pulls off in a turn, let the next guy do it, and the car in the very back, if you got 4 or 5 cars, can pick him up and keep everybody up with the pack. But you lose a little time doing it. It really isn't recommended from me. The biggest thing is just to stay in line and keep it hot, but don't overheat it. And just do your best from there.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's exactly what I was telling Eddie as I was watching you guys. I'm like, this is what they're doing, and it works well. So, again, congratulations on that second place finish. And I'm sure you want to thank your team and any sponsors you want to thank as well.
Yeah, man. My buddy Michael got me back in racing, invited me on the team. To all my regulators out there, Double D, Frankie. I know you guys didn't stay up there with us, but you run our hearts during the race. Thanks to Jimmy Crow. Thanks for you guys broadcasting and all the other people I race with and iRacing. I love you guys, man. It's been a great fun. Appreciate it.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congratulations. I'm sure we'll be talking to you guys real soon again.
All right, take it easy, fellas.
And lastly, I see our winner, Michael Pegg, just joined us here in the booth. Michael, Josh, and Eddie, you got us?
Yes, sir.
Man, we were talking strategy, and as I was saying to Eddie, I'm a super speedway racer myself, and I kind of knew the strategy you guys were going with. Eddie was doubting it the whole time, but now that I know Estel kind of given the secret, you had the more tape out there, leading that pack. You guys impressive on the pit stops, impressive on sticking together and making that strategy work.
Yeah, it takes a lot of practice. We've been running another league, and we run a lot of laps, and we run after the league. We'll go and run Talladega 3 or 4 times, so we get a lot of practice during the week, during the month. So a lot of teams just show up, but there's no focus on the strategy, what they're doing, who's leading, who's doing what. They just all join and don't know who's going which direction, and so that ends up to be a problem.
Yeah, and you guys definitely had that strategy locked in and figuring out who's going to do what and making it work. And I was kind of surprised to not see you guys racing it out at the end there.
Well, the strategy is to get away from the wrecks. That's the first thing. That it doesn't matter what lap we pit on. We just want to get away from them. We did that one short because we were expecting a lot of wrecks. We really wanted to go a lot farther on the first pit, but we were debating. Cars started getting close and 3 wide, and we was like, it's time to bail.
4 wide at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah. It definitely worked for you guys for sure, though, man. For sure.
Yeah. But yeah, we weren't all up front on the qualifying, so we just had to get everybody down and pit. That we just discussed it on the radio and decide what lap we're going to go.
Awesome.
We were basically just watching fuel.
Yeah, I imagine right there at the end you were probably running on fumes there.
I had 2 laps left. Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah. It was fumes. We were going to stretch it one more on that last pit stop. We're just like, let's go ahead and pit now.
Awesome, man. Well, congratulations on the win. It's great to see a bunch of teammates working together that well to get it done here at Talladega. And anybody you'd like to thank real quick before we let you go?
Yeah, this goes out to Jimmy's daddy and Jimmy's family. No good. They're going through a tough time right now. Those guys are unbelievable. The races they used to host. It was something like 500 a month, 250 a piece. I don't know, it was crazy numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Used to get a lot of practice back then. I really appreciate it. That's who this goes out to. My wife Tracy, and of course my team, the regulators. We highly appreciate it. These guys are unbelievable.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congratulations on the win. I'm sure it's not going to be your last one of the season. If you can have another group of guys working like that together, you guys should be in for a treat for the rest of the season.
Yes, sir.
Again,
we appreciate it.
Congratulations, and I'm sure we'll talk to you again soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, Eddie. Well, you saw some fantastic super speedway racing today, and
That was amazing.
Yeah, it's awesome to see these guys show the respect that they do to get to the work together and make that work. So let's take a look at the schedule real quick. So next week we will be moving on to Daytona for another race there with these guys. Green flag at 7 Central, 8 o'clock Eastern from Over the Top Designs. These guys, if you need a car painted up, check out Over the Top Designs. They'll be able to hook you up with all your paint needs. Join us right after this for the iOS series. We are racing at
Bristol, baby.
Bristol, baby. Night race, Bristol. That's right. I was able to practice with those guys last week, and it should be an entertaining one for sure. So stick around. That's going to be going off in about a half hour time. And again, great race here. Congratulations to Michael Pegg. Don't forget to follow, like, subscribe here on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, Intensity Broad 1 at twitter.com. We like to keep you guys informed. And as Atlee Atman Weiss would say, over and out.